Welcome to Film ReVision, which, as you know, or we hope you know, that is over the course of 2008 is a little video blog in which we're going to be looking at 25 films from 25 years ago. However, we have a special treat for you today. Due to popular demand, we've been asked to, every once in a while, mix in a modern film. And so today we're going to look at and discuss a film that has just been released on DVD. It's an Oscar-winning film and won for Best Supporting Actress. We're going to talk about Michael Clayton. And with us today is Christine Rowan, an actor from Denver, Colorado, actually. Also with us is Dan Zarrilli, an engineer from Brooklyn, New York. All right, so let's get right down to the nitty-gritty. What do you guys think? Michael Clayton, Dan Zarrilli.
Well, I have to start by saying that I sat in the second row, so I may have missed some things in the peripheral vision. Hopefully I don't miss anything too big.
Saw it in the theaters then, not on DVD.
I did see it in the theater. I dragged my wife into Manhattan, and we actually had a night out.
Oh, that's sweet. I don't care, but it's nice. Just kidding. What did you think of the film?
I thought the film was great. I like the legal thriller type of film, and I like the characters. I like the story. I like the fact that at the end, essentially the good guy won on this one. Where right near the end, it took the turn where you weren't quite sure if it was going to happen.
All right, we're going to come back to that good guy theory. Christine, what overall thoughts? What do you got?
I liked the movie. I didn't love it. I know
people keep saying that.
Most people love it. I don't know. I felt it was a little bit reminiscent of North Country and Aaron Brockovich, that I kind of thought, I've seen this movie before, even though I hadn't seen the movie before. You know, it was really... I kind of wanted something new, not like I'm all about putting down the man, but I've seen the story before.
You're both saying something similar in terms of seeing the movie before. You really like this type of movie, but that's certainly insinuating that you've seen it before. I feel like there's something different about Michael Clayton. Certainly it's among a genre, but I think it's a stronger film within that genre. So I guess I'm arguing with this idea that I've seen this film before. I'm arguing with this idea that it's just this cookie cutter legal thriller, because I don't think it is. And Dan, I want to get back to your point about this whole idea that the good guy won. I remember that ending. That last shot I'm thinking about, do you think Michael Clayton feels like he won? He won in the sense the bad guys got arrested. Do you feel like, does Michael Clayton feel victorious?
Well, I'm sure it's bittersweet because he lost his friend, his coworker for a long time that he was helping. He lost him at the end.
What about his job?
His job is uncertain at that point. He
So
definitely
it's a Pyrrhic victory at
sold
best.
out what might have been a big client for them, what might have been their biggest client.
But I feel like it's a Pyrrhic victory at best.
There were a couple things like the hit and run guy that didn't resolve well, and I was intrigued, but
Do you
it
really
wasn't
need
quite.
that storyline to resolve well?
No, you don't. But what I really would rather have seen resolved was more with the son, and this concept that his son kind of saved his life, got him out of the car when his car blew up.
How did the son get him out of the car?
Because he looked up at the
the
horses
book.
that was in the book. It wasn't much. They didn't give you much, but there was something there. His son got him out of that car, and I don't know. I was looking for a little bit more.
I don't know if the son got him out of the car. I think.
Well, why else is the son
I think
there?
the horses had more to do because he saw the horses in the book that he saw in Tom Wilkinson's character's
Which
apartment.
was the book from his son.
Yes, but the reason that the page with the horses was highlighted or had a bookmark in it is because it was about nature and about their potential future death.
Well, also
at
that's
the
where the
hands of
receipt
North.
fell out of too.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying by a bookmark.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, that had more to do, I think, with Tom Wilkinson's character than it did with his son, and it had to do with these horses are potentially in danger from the products that North is creating. I think that had more to do with that than actually his son. I don't think his son. I think the son.
Well, then
I think it's a contrivance of the script that the son. I think it was a cute little scene.
Right.
I hated that. I thought that was the writer being like, well, you're not smart enough to figure this out on your own, so I'm going to make a red book that the son gives that parallels the red document that's going to screw these people in the
I
end.
didn't think of that.
Yeah.
The writer was spoon-feeding me foreshadowing to make sure that I got it. Just in case I didn't get it, he made the book of the kids red that paralleled the document that was going to end up burying you north. That was also red, and in the book was this.
Well,
picture
it was the
of,
same cover though. It's not that it was just red. It said Realm and Conquest on it, right?
Right, but the document of the.
Oh, that's a good point. Arthur's character actually made it red on purpose.
It's the book cover.
It is the book cover. You're right.
So Yeah,
But
your point is
but there is more. But there is. If you let me go on, there is more validity because I thought it was really contrived. That although yes, you're right. Maybe I did have a couple drinks. In the book, the photo, the illustration in the book was the trees with the horses, and then when I saw him driving up the street and I saw him see the horses, I thought, yeah, I got it. It's this exact same thing. It could have maybe been.
I thought the shot of the horses was not close up though. I mean, I thought that was fairly subtle. I mean, we all remembered it, so I guess it's not that subtle.
I didn't think it was subtle at all because I remember thinking that's going to have something to do with the book, and the book is going to save the day.
But that's
in the
because
end.
we had already seen the scene with the horses because of the way.
Right, we saw the scene.
In the
we
beginning,
saw the horses early, and then we saw the book, and then we saw the horses
There was a flash.
again.
There was this film.
This is my point, though.
Spoon feeding, right? Yeah.
This is my point that could have maybe been a little more subtle, like the whole GPS system.
So you don't
thing.
like the
That was
narrative.
also not subtle.
See, I missed that. I actually.
You did not miss that.
I
You
did.
couldn't have missed it.
I did. I didn't know it was going to come back, like the banging of.
Well, we didn't know anything was
I
going to
didn't
come back.
need them to show it to me in the beginning.
Right.
It would have been fine if they just showed me the
Or the other way around.
either
You
way.
didn't
I
need them
didn't
to
need
re-show
it
it to
twice.
you.
I got
Yeah.
it.
Now, I want to say, I'm throwing out like little flaws, but I really like this film. It seems I like this film better than they do. But the other thing that bothered me about Michael Clayton is, and I'm becoming attuned to this a lot with recent films, is I'm getting a little tired of the zingers. The real the trailer lines, that really. The push in towards the lead character and he says something really clever, and these lines of dialogue that are just too well written. I mean, I guess I'm just, it's part of this thing that goes off of me that just feels like, ding, that's a contrivance, that doesn't feel natural, it just feels like, I don't want to say too Hollywood, because I feel like that phrase is used a lot, but it's certainly too formulaic or too... it's another thing, like the music, because it is so recycled, or not recycled, but certainly overused or overemphasized. That's the word I'm looking for.
Is it just that people don't talk like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it boils down to. It's like, Michael Clayton will give a speech and he's like, I'm not a fixer, I'm a janitor. And you can see that, the camera's pushing in, and you can see that in the trailer. I want a conversation, and I feel like this is a consistent frustration with me for a lot of films. And Tony Gilroy is a longtime screenwriter, and so he probably does that a lot and is used to that, and is a very clever person, clearly. But I feel like I guess I'm more interested in subtext and verisimilitude in these scenes, and I feel like. Sometimes some of these characters are a little too clever for their own good.
I think that dialogue in general in movies that I've seen lately is sometimes too clever for its own good, but I fall for it. So, sometimes you like to have that little thing in your mind saying, does it look like I'm negotiating or whatever it was? I don't know. I'm a bit of a sucker for it. I buy things for packaging that's pretty. It's...
Is that a girl thing?
I don't know. It's probably an American thing.
All right, I'm going to close things up. Thank you very much, Dan and Christine, for being with us. That's it for Film Revision this time. It was our very first modern film, so that was kind of exciting. But don't forget, the point of the whole video blog, Film Revision, is to look at films from 25 years ago. And so we'll get back to that next time. We're going to look at a very interesting film based on a play by Harold Pinter. It's called Betrayal. It's only available on VHS, so it's a little more obscure. But it'll certainly be a lively discussion, I think. And also, if you love cinema, as you probably do, don't forget to check out Reel 13 on Channel 13. It returns this Saturday with East of Eden, starring James Dean, directed by Ilya Kazan, and then a short chosen by you, the viewer, on reel13.org, and then the indie Imaginary Heroes. That's this Saturday, March 22nd at 9 p.m. And we'll see you next time on Film Revision. I'm Jonathan Betzler.